Stop the count, stop the count. Loki did not have to go that hard. Not only is Loki the best Marvel Disney Plus series, it's one of the best MCU projects, period. If you couldn't already tell, I just got done watching the season finale of Loki season 2, and we got to talk about it because this shit is just peak, man. We got to get into it. Before we get into it, I do want to let you know that I'm going to be recapping the entire episode and giving my honest spoiler-filled thoughts of the episode. So if you're not trying to be spoiled, make sure you drop a like, follow, but come back after because I need to hear your thoughts. So we pick up immediately where last episode left off with Loki traveling back in time to try to successfully get Victor Timely to get the loom to work. He tries over and over and over again, a snake eating its own tail, to where he almost gives up, but then he thinks, I'm not thinking when enough. Then he travels a little bit earlier in time, explains the entire plan, gets Victor Timely actually out there. He doesn't just combust. Hey, yo, he does what? The whole time he's running the play-by-play. He's like nice and steady. Hit the green button. And Victor succeeds. He hits the green button. Loki is happy as hell. Look at the smile. When Victor comes back, he's like, look what I did. I mean, look what we did. We did that shit. But then of course, Obi's like, wait, something's not right. Just when Victor Timely's like, I didn't build the Tentor loom. It's the prototype. It was never gonna work. Loki's like, all right, I gotta go back even further to the season finale of Loki season 1. Right before Sylvie kills He Who Remains. And again, like a snake eating its own tail, he tries to stop her from killing him over and over and over, but he can't stop her. It's like an absolute point, which is when he has a nice little visit with He Who Remains before all of this. He's like, you finally figured it out. This shit's supposed to happen. This is all part of his plan. Remember, every step you take, I pave the way. Loki cooked right here when he said, you think this is the first time we had this conversation? No, he didn't. And He Who Remains like, man, I knew I liked you. I knew you were my favorite. But then he hits him with the ultimatum. The only way he can stop any of this is to kill Sylvie, which obviously Loki can't bring himself to do. So then Loki travels back to the first episode of Loki season 1 when he's talking with Mobius. Asks Mobius, how does TVA decide who lives and who dies? He tells him a story that essentially ends with him saying that, look, purpose is more burden than it is glory. He smiles, shakes Mobius' hand, and time slips back, or I guess forward to the episode 5 scene where everyone gets dusted essentially or turned into string cheese, where he tells her what this ultimatum is. He needs to kill her or not, and he asks her what he should do. Sylvie says sometimes you need to destroy something before you replace it with something better. And this gives Loki an idea. So he time slips back to that event before Victor Timely dies and realizes that it needs to be him that goes out there. As he takes one last look at all of his friends because he knows what he has to do, he steps out there with no time suit as he slowly starts to mourn. And low-key, I thought he was going to turn into Sylvie for a second. I don't know why. But he gets his big horns back as he realizes he can use his power to manipulate the loom. And he knows what kind of god he needs to be. By the way, this shot is so tough. He realizes he can physically grab these branched timelines. He starts physically grabbing them and knows what kind of god he needs to become, like I said earlier. Look, Jesus walked on water. Loki walked on timelines. And this scene just gave me goosebumps as he's grabbing these various different branches of time. It looks so painful. Finally gets up to the step at the edge of time where his throne is, sits down, and Loki is now Loki, not god of mischief, god of story, as he's essentially the new He Who Remains, creating the Tree of Time. Back at the TVA, everything's normal. It looks like Loki left Mobius what his life on the sacred timeline was like and gives him that decision. He has a conversation with B-15 about what this place means now and remembering where they came from. It looks like they've got the Kang variants under wraps too. He's like, man, I gotta go. I gotta leave. I gotta go check out what my life was like. Obi gets a bunch of handbooks. We see that young Victor Timely does not get one. And we cut to Ravonna Renslayer in the Void, where she wakes up in the face of Goliath, unafraid. Finally, we see Mobius with Sylvia at his side, observing his life as he just sits there and like, I got nothing but time. Cut back to Loki, who hears this, is just sitting there proudly. And that's it. Come on, man. I think this might be it too. These might be the only 2 seasons of Loki we get. Just a perfect way to wrap up this entire story. Giving Loki a god with glorious purpose being a burden, holding these timelines together and bringing stability to the multiverse. The writing, the performances, bravo to Tom Hiddleston, man. Really, everyone that worked on the production of this show. This is top tier Marvel, like I said in the beginning, and I just absolutely love everything about this show. Who cares what I think? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and as always, like and follow for more.